Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
That shit's a
And
pop.
hey, and we are back this week with your Survivor News, recapping season 34, episode 3. And I am joined by the baby boys. First up in the ring is the Jack to the Atkins. You may know him from the Jack Harlow concert in Chicago last Friday, or you may know him from The Circle season 2, or The Floor is Lava. Jack Atkins, welcome back to Survivor News.
Thank you. Wait, I got a surprise. Can I show that the audience my new surprise?
Show the surprise.
Does he have a buff around his body?
Oh,
Oh, that's too many.
Listen, I am not doing this with y'all. Listen.
Oh, that's
Purple
beautiful.
Pants Podcast, my bell. Like now, Jack Atkins then got a bell. I am.
Who let me get a bell?
Let's see that bell, Jack.
Oh,
You know, it's a nice.
Let's see that bell, Brice.
Jack
And let's see yours too, Brice.
so mine's is kind of sort of inappropriate.
Oh,
Whoa.
but look.
Whoa.
Oh, y'all
What
know
is
about
that, two?
Yeah. Depends on the scenario.
I have another. Oh, wait. Well, okay.
Don't try to upstage me. No. That's a baby dinner bell.
Anyway, Jack with the bell. Atkins is here, and my brother from another, returning from Houston, Texas, the host of HGTV Hot Mess House, and the winner of Ghost Island season 36.
Let's go.
And you know he is the first merge boot on Winners at War. Wendy Z. Holland.
What's up? We out here. Let's go.
Yes, we are. I'm watch the episode. We're back, but listen, we got to get, some of the what do you call it when it's the things that you need to get out of the way? Housekeeping. The essentials. I like the essentials better. We got to get some of the essentials out of the way. Wendell and I are back from Houston, Texas, where Brice and Wen present. Okay, baby. When I tell you Houston, first of all, let's just start here. I feel like my man might reside in Houston, Texas, because Houston was different. I don't know what I was expecting from the city of Houston, but Houston showed nothing but love. And yeah, it was amazing. I don't need for you to be eyeing the photo. It's taken care of, Wendy.
Why is Wendell so tall?
I'm tall as that.
And who is Nick holding?
And is that Cliff?
That's Cliff Hogg.
This is interesting.
The men in Houston really are different.
Oh, I love it.
But Houston was absolutely amazing. From the reality stars that showed up to their friends and family, to the friends, because we don't call y'all fans, we are friends that showed up. It was just so amazing. I can't say enough. Wendy, what you got to say about Houston?
Oh my goodness. It was the first time we were in Houston, and we just decided to take a shot in the dark, per se.
Oh.
And the Houston people wanted us to come, and we had this party at McIntyre's downtown. The venue was on point. When we did our walkthrough, we were like, there's something magical about this venue, because there were games. The bar was right. There was a huge TV, like a projection style, and TVs all over the place. So we knew it was a good vibe in there. And then by the time we arrived, because we usually arrive just after an hour before the episode starts. So in Houston, it starts at 7. So we got there just after 6. It was packed out with amazing people. They were excited to see us all. And man, the vibe in there was just, it was different, Perp. It was different than we've ever experienced, I'd say.
For sure. Definitely. I don't know if it was, Kiki McCrae because she was
True.
in the building. I don't know if it
True.
was Michaela. I don't
True.
know if it was Danny. I don't know if it was Ashley. I don't know if it was Ben Dregenberg. I don't know if it was
Treebergen,
Sharia. I don't know if it was Carl. I don't know if it was where
Jackson,
is Davy. If it was Jackson. If
Ashley
it was
Nolan,
Ashley. If it was Elizabeth. If it was Karishma.
Eric, Abraham,
Abraham, if it was Nick Wilson,
Elizabeth.
I said Elizabeth. You're saying the names that I have already said already. Okay.
Chill out.
Chill.
Chill out.
Listen, but Houston was definitely amazing. We can't thank you guys enough. But listen, if you think that's it, Brice and Wynn present are on tour. Okay, Philadelphia, we are coming home. We will be in Philadelphia October 19th at the Winston. So listen, show up, show out. We got surprises for you. But listen, Boston, we see y'all. We
do.
see
Y'all
y'all.
are something else, okay?
Okay, Boston is showing out. Boston, I'm going to just say it when DD don't want me to say it. But if you are thinking about going to Boston, if I were you, I would do it now because the Boston tickets are probably
They're moving.
85 to 90% sold out. So Boston is going to be an epic time. And the lineup that we got for you. But listen, if you think that's it, baby, the district, we are coming. Washington, D.C., you always show your love, your baby boys some love. So we are coming, okay? And listen, we got to end this tour right. The finale, we are headed to L.A. And listen, the confirmed guests that we have are amazing. And I said it before, I'm going to say it again. It's the only LA finale party that you need to be at. Okay?
No comment.
Oh, I got a comment. But anyway, so yes, that's the housekeeping news. Brice and Wynn present the tour. Tickets are available. Click the link in my Instagram bio, Wendell's Instagram bio, the Brice and Wynn present bio, and you could just go to Jack Atkin page to see what he doing. But yes, listen, we need to get into this episode. We got the baby boys here.
Yo.
Okay.
It's a battle. It's a battle between who gets to
moderate.
To moderate.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. Well, let's see. I think this week the moderation is going to the Jack Atkins. I'll be in the comments, and somebody was like, when I said that Wendell or something, they're like, it wasn't a slight at Jack. Jack did a good job. So listen, Jack is here. Jack got us. But
you fired me again?
You listen.
Spring
break.
Spring break.
I might have some trips soon, so Wendell, you might have a chance to shine.
Oh, okay.
No,
one of those 2-week spring breaks, 3-week spring breaks.
Maybe. I might have to fly out to a Brice and Wynn Presents.
Hey.
Every time I see the posters, I'm like, let me go check the flight prices and see what's happening.
Jack, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. If ever you want to come to one, I will split your flight, brother.
Oh.
So FYI, I'm gonna just put that out there.
Wow. Jack. That might be.
Okay.
We might have to talk about this after that because I don't know.
Well, okay.
Philly, Boston.
I'm half seas, Jack. Jack sees I'm half seas. Okay.
Wow.
Jack, I say Philly.
Money is hitting.
Jack, I say Philly. But wait, Wendell, what about for my rent?
Dad, can I have some rent money?
What about for your rent?
Can we do halfsies?
No, I don't see. I don't like seeing you, Brice. I want to see my baby boy Jack. You know what I'm saying? I see you too much. I'm looking for reasons to get away from you.
Listen. Oh, and also just to report to the posse before we even start, while we were in Houston, normally at every event or to the lead up to the events, Wendell and I get into a argument, a fight. Houston, there was no problem.
Dang.
I didn't have to cuss baby boy out. I
wanted a problem so bad.
Now, did Win DZ get on my nerves? Yes.
What'd I do this time?
Okay. But I'm on a road to a better Brice, so I let him slide.
Did Wendell order a round of shots and then say, Houston, we have a problem?
No, he didn't. But Uncle Carl from David vs. Goliath, listen, that's when I say that's my uncle, God. That's really my uncle. He brought us to his aunt was having a birthday. We went to this comedy show, and they was like, Survivors is in the bill. It was like the most
They
Oh
called us
man.
out. It was not a comedy show. It was a karaoke,
Karaoke.
but the MCs were comedians.
Were comedians. And so then when they call
Oh.
everybody up, and then they were like, wait, Wendell, you won? And then they was like $1 million. And then the host was like, and you dressed like that? Okay.
I was in my sweats. I was just going to get hats from the airport, and all of a sudden we end up picking up Ben, getting his luggage that got lost somewhere, and ending up in a karaoke club. And
Damn.
they started clowning me, and all of us, and I was just like, "What can I do?" I mean, these ain't cheap sweats, but they were clowning me.
Also, last but not least, you know how Wendell is dad. We have another dad to add to the dad club, and the dad is Danny McCray. Kiki and I and Chelsea were dying at how similar Danny and Wendell are. They're both dads. Okay, first of all, both of them came to the watch party with a book bag. Okay, just in case they need to keep something in there, but they act so similar. Okay, when Kiki was getting loud and crazy, Dad gave her a look. When me and Chelsea was getting loud and crazy, Wendell was like, so I mean, they literally are dads. So now we've got 3 dads. We've got Ben Atkins, we've got Wendell Holland, and we've got Danny McCray.
Brice keeps on saying that, like, after we left from hanging out with Danny and Kiki all night, Brice was like, "You guys are so similar."
They are.
What's the age difference between you and Danny?
Actually, Wendell is a lot older. Danny is like 33. Wendell is 40.
No,
He's not 33.
Right?
Danny
he's
is like
than that.
Oh, he's like 33, 32.
He's younger than that?
He's 33, 32.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I got him plus about a year or 2.
A decade.
Wow. That's crazy.
And Brice got us all.
I thought Danny was older than you for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I didn't think so. But
All
I
right.
mean, he's a former pro player. That might put some years on you.
Yeah.
But you were saying, Brice, go ahead, rush us off this topic. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, I got to meet with my friend Kiki, and she was just like what I thought. All we did was cut up, okay? And this is how I know Danny is my people, because I was cutting up in front of Danny and cutting up, and Danny was just looking at me like...
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, we here for Survivor News.
Yes, we
Jack
are.
Atkins.
All right. Episode 3, back to our regularly scheduled programming, 60-minute episode. But we get back from Tribal Council where Justine had just been voted out. We're at the Vesi Beach, the Red Beach. Obviously, Noelle and Dwight are a little bit surprised by this vote out, and we see there's sort of not a full-on falling out, but definitely some backlash. Noelle and Dwight decide that they're going to stick together and try to figure this out and get out from the bottom. I mean, coming back to camp, what did you guys think after this Justine vote out?
I mean, for me, I just was like, I could understand why Dwight was so mad. I love Dwight, aka my twin. But I guess when he was talking with Jesse, or before, like when we heard from Jesse, it was Jesse vote. So Jesse would do I guess Jesse was trying to be diplomatic in that sense of like, hey, I really want to bring you along. But I just really felt like, I think the thing that resonated the most with me, and I wish I would have had this opportunity during my season, was I think we heard it from both Dwight and Noelle. They said that this tribal council woke them up. Well, baby, my tribal council put me to sleep.
It puts you out. You're lucky when you have a tribal council that wakes you up and you're still in the game. I had one of those too, and it was when Morgan was voted out, and me and Dom were in the dark, and we thought we were at the bottom of everything at that moment. And when those are early in the game, and you learn that lesson early, sometimes it's really good for your game.
Yeah. And yeah, we see that the Vesi, there's definitely a lot of different divisions going on here. And so obviously later in the episode, we're going to see how that all plays out. But then we bounce on over to the Baka tribe, the yellow tribe. And we see Gabler's in pretty rough shape. They're what, 5-6 days in, and he's definitely struggling from the lack of food, from the conditions generally. He's kind of skipping out on sort of different contributions to the tribe just to sort of store his energy, which is very reasonable given his condition. But obviously because of this, a lot of his tribe mates are a little bit worried about his position in the game, and we see Ellie and Janine are curious whether or not he knows, does his idol, is it 2 tribal councils generally, or is it 2 of his tribal councils? And they want to find that out, because if they know that if he doesn't know about his idol's power, then they can vote him out. And they actually go through his bag to make sure of that.
So
what did you guys think about this plan from Ellie and Janine?
So they went through the bag last week, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And this week they're powwowing like, oh, maybe we can get him to think that it's expired because we read it. We're clear. We know it. We're young and sharp.
Mhm.
Maybe we can convince him that it's expired.
So this is what I need to know. So we know it was Ellie and Janine. Was Owen a part of this?
He was a part of.
And was Cody a part of this?
Well, Cody's on the other tribe.
I mean,
You Sammy?
So probably not Cody.
Cody
Probably
was
not
just
Cody.
living.
Cody was
Sammy,
just living.
however,
He wasn't looking.
So was Sammy a part? He wasn't looking.
LOOKIN.
I think Owen was there, but was not sort of an active participant.
Okay.
And then
but
Sammy, I don't think was there, but we see Sammy's in the conversation about does Mike know it or not, and then we'll get to that. But
so
obviously, Sammy ends up. Yeah. What are you thinking, Brice?
Now my thing
let it out.
Now
Let it
my
out.
thing with Owen is now I love my curmudgeon. Okay. Owen, you being a little sneaky deaky there. Like, first of all, Owen, you wasn't sure which side wanted you. You was like, I just feel like, I don't know. But it made me like watching this, I was like, oh, now I just gave all this love to my girl Ellie. And then last episode, Jack was like, she's coming on too strong, she's doing too much. And I'm like, no, she not. Just watch. Now, I do feel like in this episode, like now, if this works out for her, it's great. However, if it does not work out for her, it could be really bad. And hopefully, I hope it is a wake-up call to Ellie that you gotta know when to fold them, know when to show them, and you might be like,
you gotta know when to show them. Dictionary.
Know when to show them.
No, but like in reality, if everyone were on the same page and this plan worked out, like this would be like, this would be great. But I'm trying to figure out, like, and we see in that moment where Sammy is like, they're like, well, who should say something to Gabler? Sammy's like, I will. And then she's like, well, actually, I have the closer relationship with him. You do? Is that what you think? You like, do y'all feel like in that moment, that's when Sammy was like, oh no, you doing too much? Or do you feel like he already had it like rolling?
I think Sammy is young and smart and is out there on Survivor and wants to play this game. And as soon as he receives information from her saying that she's closer with him, he's like, all right, now it's time for me to act on this. Not only am I going to snitch on you, but yeah, that's what I think.
So again, I like Sammy.
He grew on me.
He grew on me a lot, a lot. I just, again, the one thing that like frustrates me is like, they don't know I'm 19. Like, I don't care how old you are. Like, for me, like, again, we already had this discussion. Y'all said like, 19 to 22, y'all feel like it can make a difference. For me, I don't care. I go off of face value. Okay. I met Jack when he was 19 and Jack became my brother. After he had to smell what was coming out that bathroom between me and Wendell in South Africa.
Nobody, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know
either.
No, but I just I feel like, again, I understand why Sammy is doing this, but I feel like in that same breath of air that Jack was saying about Ellie, I feel like this is an extremely bold move of Sammy, and I feel like it could backfire on him as well.
Let's unpack that. Anything, Jack?
I mean, I'm on the opposite page right now.
We already know. We know that.
Whoa. Brice, you got two people on the opposite. Oh.
Why I oughta?
You got two people on the opposite side, Brice, because I think what this does is I don't think it alienates Sammy as much as it does Ellie.
Oh, no, for sure. for sure. Like again, but for me, in my mind, I just feel like I can't trust you, and I feel like you are going. Like I just feel
Who
like,
can't trust him?
well, I mean, in my mind, I can't trust him anymore.
You
Sammy?
Yes.
can't trust
But
Sammy.
here's the thing. I think Ellie was kind of like she's coming up with this devious plan and then giving it to over half of her tribe.
True.
And then it's like, okay, I'm Sammy. I think he was maybe on board at first, but then once you hear, oh, Ellie has a stronger relationship with Gabler than I do, and she's very confident about that, that's when you have to then sort of like change the scale a little bit. And then so you go to Gabler with sort of cold hard facts, like the things Sammy told Gabler, Sammy would only know those things because Ellie told him those things.
No,
Like,
you're right.
and so Gabler has no reason not to trust what Sammy's saying, and obviously this is sort of such damning evidence against against Ellie that I think it really brings Gabler in close with Sammy, and it's something that's really not going to get leaked to Ellie or Janine because I don't think Gabler has a reason to unless he's just an absolute wild card, which maybe he is, but I think it really secures your trust with Gabler and sort of ingrains that alliance that Sammy wants with the boys because once again he thinks that Ellie is sort of underestimating them, which I think in this instance she definitely is.
Ah,
Like Gabler is a Valve expert. Like he's
I,
gonna be able to read his own clue. Like I know where she was coming from, but to be like, oh, he's not even gonna know his clue. Like
but
I
what?
feel like that's just a big assumption to make.
I don't think so. I again, the plan wasn't that like, oh, he doesn't know it. The plan was to find out if he knows it, so that we can
True.
then implement it. She was going to have a conversation with him. And listen, another thing that I have to give it to is Sleepy Gabe, because first of all, awkward moments when Ellie walked up on
Sleepy
Gabler and
Gabe.
us as the audience knows that Gabler knows.
Oh
First
yeah.
of all, I gotta give. Okay, Gabe, you awake, you ain't sleepy, but that
Went from sleepy to
conversation,
sneaky.
sleepy to sneaky, that I felt so uncomfortable watching that. Like, I don't know, like I just was like, just because like I felt like secondhand embarrassment for Ellie because it's like he know, and then it's like I was like, oh my God, Gabler's pulling it off really well. But for me, the person that I was watching the most was Owen,
Owen.
because like he knows as well. And so Owen, he was just
Bennett.
Bennett. He ain't in it. Curmudgeon. I ain't budging. Budging.
He ain't budging.
He ain't budging.
That's what he was doing. And Brice, when you were talking about Owen earlier, how he was on this side and he saw this, then he's on this side and he saw that. What do you do, Brice? Do you just sit back and let him?
I mean,
like, what do you do? Or it's like, well, he know too, and he's supposed to be your boy. So,
well, this is what I would say with Owen. I feel like Owen can work both ways, because I feel like Owen can be the swing vote, because who knows, Gabler could do something, because we know Sleepy Gabe, when he got up from the beach and the girls were talking, so he was like, hey, let me give me 40 minutes to lay on the bamboo and detox. Then I'll come talk to y'all. So again, I feel like the boys might want to go with Gabler right now, but Gabler could do something that could piss everybody off. And then Owen, I think Owen puts himself in a really good position where like he can swing back and forth. I think Cody, Sammy kind of like draws the line a little harder.
It's true. But that's why when you were talking about like Owen sort of witnessing them going through the bag, I think he did exactly what he's supposed to do. You just sit back, you don't participate, but you know all this information. You can use it if the timing is right to go to Gabler and be like, hey, just so you know, yesterday or whatever, they look through your bag. But if you don't need that, and maybe he finds out, you could be like, you know what, Gabler, I did see that. I had no part in that, and I didn't feel like it was my business to snitch on them. It was an awkward spot for me. And I don't think he could really get in too much trouble. And now he has a bunch of information. Like I think Survivor is a game of information and a game of social agency. And so to capitalize, I think we see Sammy capitalizing on his social agency by kind of pulling Gabler in. But now we see Owen, who has a bunch of information now. And so I think that's why they're sort of maybe the two best positioned people on their tribe.
and And sometimes the best move is to sit. Sometimes the best move with information is to sit on information
Yep.
and
That is
watch.
true.
And in Ellie's case, it's like she had information and she wanted to jump on it and
Mhm.
almost use it to not only I guess eliminate someone, but almost embarrass them or make them look like a fool.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that. I don't
And they're
think
not
that.
even going to tribal yet. It's like I feel
Right.
like it's a little bit too
premature.
I feel
premature.
like her error was just sharing it with everyone. She should have kept it with Janine,
Yeah.
and her and Janine should have figured it out. But this is what I will say, because mind you, I really like Ellie this far, and I feel like the good thing that they have with these 3 people tribes is we've already got to the 3rd boot. Historically in these tribes, if they just win another challenge, there's going to be a tribe swap
Yeah.
at some point. And
Although we did see 41, 42 no swap. So I'm curious this season. I mean, I think your point absolutely stands, but I am curious this season, will there be a swap or will they go with 41,
when did
42?
41 and 42, when did they merge or unofficially
12.
merged? At
12.
12. Okay.
Yeah. So halfway to that right now as it
Okay.
stands.
So, Ellie girl, you might be in trouble.
So Brice, okay, maybe she wasn't trying to make him look like a fool or something, but I'm a big fan of Ellie's. But when you do something that kind of questions someone's intelligence out there,
I don't know. Like,
she's
again,
saying that he didn't come.
well, I mean,
Is it or I could
I
be
mean,
wrong.
no, you're right. You're right. But again, for me, as somebody who, like, I will read things and not thoroughly read things, I will send you a text message and half the
Oh.
things will be spelled wrong because I don't like, I think that.
But Brice, if you're on the island and
I
you
mean,
have an
I'm
idol,
telling-
you're gonna read the whole
I'm
thing.
telling you, I
You
probably
better.
wouldn't.
Who got the idol clip notes? This is too long for me. Okay.
I'm
Here,
telling
Wendell, you
you.
can just have this. I don't,
Somebody read this for me.
It's yours.
If I ever get an idol, I'm gonna have to bring somebody in so I can make sure I comprehend it. I'm telling you, you know how my brain works. Like, I will glance through something and I will tell myself in my head I read it and I know I didn't.
Anyway, moving on.
Brice plays it at like final 7. And they're like, Brice, this expired 10 rounds ago.
10 weeks ago.
You're like, Jeff's like, did you even read it? Like, I just thought
I didn't have
cool.
the time.
I was living, Jeff.
I thought this was extra vote, Jeff. I want to ask real quick while we're on the subject, what do you guys think about sort of like a swap in this situation? Like right now, say next episode I said, hey, they're gonna swap. Is that something you would want, or
Wait,
do
you Jeff now? You got that type of power?
Wow.
I don't
Okay.
know. I might
Okay,
be
Jack.
able to make some edits,
Okay,
but,
Jack Probst. Jeff Atkins.
Jeff Atkins,
with the,
Bell Probst.
we saw. I forgot I had this. We saw like 41 and 42, no swaps. Is that something you want to see again, or do you want to go back to a swap? Like I feel like here. I'm gonna let you guys give your thoughts on how.
Well, I like swaps, honestly, because again, anything that can give somebody that is in an underdog or at the bottom position an opportunity to better their chances, I'm always going to be for it. Although it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you go from a very strong position to a weakened position and you get picked off, or you can go from a weak position to a strong position. So I love a swap.
I do. I love seeing things get shaken up. So yeah, I would not, other than Brice, to fix yourself. I'd like to see one, even though it's cool watching how Coco is staying preserved. The other 2 tribes are like losing members. If that continues to the merge, it will be interesting to see how those 2 tribes play against Coco, or if Coco implodes or anything like that. So.
Well, and we always know that in my opinion, the tribe that the tribe that stays the strongest before the merge, in my opinion, have the deepest cracks.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say the deepest cracks, but I think they're the most vulnerable.
Because the other 2 tribes naturally kind of want to.
Like, we got to work together.
And they say that there is something to the art of tribal council and the fact that these tribes have more experience in tribal council than a tribe that has not gone to tribal council. They know when it's time to rumble. They know what you need to do, what you need to say. Like, so that is, we have seen, especially in these past 2 seasons, that is an
That's huge, Brice.
attribute.
That's something they got going for them for sure.
Did I say that right, Jack?
Yeah. Attribute.
Should we
Let's
put it in
go.
the dictionary just in case?
That's in the normal dictionary. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I agree. Like, I think all the tribes are sort of like, if any tribe next episode goes to tribal council, like I think there could be an interesting tribal. But I generally do like a swap. Maybe it's next episode, maybe it's the one after, but it just feels like there's certain people on tribes that are just comfortable and like good on them, like they position themselves well, but it just seems sort of cut and dry, like A or B is gonna go home next episode, depending on who goes to tribal council. And I like to see the dynamics switch up. Like I'd love to see a Gabler and a Cody hanging out on the beach, living, chilling. And I think it's where
Sleeping.
yes, where the best players can kind of show out. You know, you get swapped, you might get put in a bad position. If you can maneuver out of that, I think that really helps you earn it. And then at the same time, it's like once the swap happens, there's different criteria that affect who goes home. And sometimes that lets people that might go home in the normal tribe circumstance slip through the merge, and we get some characters that, you know, might not usually make the merge if the tribes were the same tribe. And I think that makes more interesting dynamics after the merge. So I'm hoping we have a swap. But I'm not sure what they'll do. I think ideally for me, it's kind of like a Kage-on situation where they go until around 14 and then they swap into 2 tribes and then they merge at around like 11 or 12. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But now we bounce over to the Coco tribe. And first of all, it's James's birthday.
Hey.
I love every episode. I feel like we don't get any direct James content, but we get just James doing funny things or people
Yes.
talking about James. So it's his birthday. They're celebrating. He verbally says, I think someone says, James, what do you want for your birthday? He says, I want to go look for an idol.
But and listen,
What was he drinking for his birthday? Because I know he likes to engage and have a couple. He likes to have a good time and have a beverage or two. So what was he drinking on the island for him to say? Go ahead, Brice. Go ahead.
No, continue, because I have a.
So he was vibing out. He had the crown on his head.
Yeah.
They were like giving him all his stuff, and he's just in front of the fire chilling.
Yes. Had to get my
Ronald
James
McDonald?
birthday hat. Okay.
He had that
But
on.
this is what I will say though. Because when I was listening to that episode, I was like, now, not James asking for a birthday present to go look for an idol. However, Lindsay first of all, Lindsay, she is a player. Like, again, Lindsay, in my opinion, is going to be a player that we are going to see the long haul, and she is going to be, I just like cutthroat, like in a good viewer way. Not Lindsay turning to James and saying, well, you know what that you know what that would mean then, like, you know, her reading the dick, like, you know. However, then we get in the confessionals, and I think it's Carla and 2 other people say, we've all been wanting this urge to go look for the idol, but none of us wanted the repercussions of looking for the idol. So we kind of sort of haven't. And I just thought, like, I love the fact that James opened that door and was like, I want to go look for idol, because it's like, well, why not? Like, why y'all scared of it? I mean, I know why y'all are scared of it, but if everyone wants to do it, I don't know. I just, in my opinion, I felt like if they were like, oh, okay, well, let's all go hunt for the idol, I feel like there's
no, I think the way to frame that too is to be like, hey guys, we might swap soon. It's probably in our best interest if one of us has the idol, if we swap, so that if we get screwed by the numbers or whatever, because we know people are going to come after us because we haven't lost yet. So why don't we all just go look for the idol? And if someone gets it and we swap, then it's better for all of us, I think, is the case to make.
This is where I will disagree, in the sense that the tribe is too big. If y'all had maybe lost 2 members, then I would say, okay, you could do that. But how are idol going to protect all 6 of us?
Brice, but if they were to merge now, it would be they're the preserved tribe, and then you got these two smaller tribes that will gang up on them. All right, at the very least, we have one tool that can
Yeah.
be used as a shield, even if it's like a shot in the dark, 1 in 6. We still have something. No,
I know.
Yeah.
I agree. I just
And
think for the people that are at the bottom of that alliance, or the,
true.
I just feel
But that
like
gives you a reason to go look without getting persecuted for it.
true,
I,
true.
but here's the thing. I don't disagree with you though. Like I wouldn't want anyone but I would just want to find it myself. And I honestly think if I was in a good position, I would rather have a situation where we don't have an open search, because if I'm in a good spot, the worst thing that could happen is that someone who's not in my alliance finds it, and that screws up our plans if we go to tribal council. Whereas it's like, as long as nobody has it, if I'm in the numbers, it's all good. And then you slip off, look for it when you get a chance, and you be a little sly about it, as we see Carla does. She goes and finds the beware advantage, and for the first time, she decides to put it back. I think that's the first time we've seen someone put it back.
Okay.
But then she goes and talks to James, sort
did
of
we see
convinces.
somebody else?
No one else put it back.
She sort of convinces herself to then go back and grab it. So, what did you guys make of this sequence with Carla?
First of all, I love Carla because I feel like Carla is playing a game that if I were ever play again, would play. I would want to play it safe. We've seen her early on when she was able to risk her vote or not risk her vote. Carla said, I ain't risking nobody vote. I'm playing it safe. She came across the idol. She's looking around and she looked up. She saw it. It said, beware. That's as far as I would have read. It said, no, thank you today.
You lying.
Then she went back and I was dying at her conversation with James. So if it's like all three of us, like, we all want cheesecake, right?
Sure.
And everyone's like, if we get cheesecake, if somebody finds cheesecake, we can have, like, we know the cheesecake's out there. And then it's like Carla came back to the tribe and was like, Jack, if you saw the cheesecake, would you eat it? I mean, no, but if
I think
you
I would
like,
take a bite.
okay, Wendell, if like you smelt it, like, would you look around or would you just like keep walking?
I do love a good cheesecake. I think I would. I think I'd take a little bite as well.
I mean, Jack, we hungry.
We are
So
hungry.
if we ate the cheesecake,
Carla,
we live in.
what are
I
you
think
trying to
we'd
tell
have
us
to-
about cheesecakes right now, Carla? Are you trying to tell us there's
Actually,
I gotta go.
actually, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go fill up my water bottle. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
No.
all this talk about cheesecake got my mouth watering. I gotta
Right.
go get some water.
I appreciated that moment with Carla because you could just tell that was a real moment of her like really talking gameplay, like really kind of like figuring out. And also I just love the casualness of like James half sleep, like, huh? Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah, cheesecake is good. If I had cheesecake, I eat it. But like, it really, and again, maybe it is, and as a viewer, we're just watching it, but we know we just had it. And I'm just like, I got nervous again. I'm like, girl, don't blow it.
Right?
Don't blow it. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to go fill up my water. I'll be right back. But I ain't mad. And I love it because I do feel like a part of Survivor is you have to step out of your element. And again, seeing this in Carla made me be like, okay, girl, I'm 1,000% behind you because one, I think a part of the experience of Survivor is just to know that you can go out there and do it. No matter if you 39 days, 26 days, the first day, 11 days, the fact that you signed up, you went on that island to do it. But I feel like up until this point, Carla was chilling. Then when she found that idol and like took a part of it and actually did what she need, like, now, girl, you living. And now I feel like I think this could have unlocked. Could Carla be our winner? Could Carla be my new winner pick? Because I feel like now she has unlocked this thing that she was unsure of. Her initial reaction was like, oh, no, put it back. I'm going to play it safe. But then it's like, I'm out here on Survivor. I'm out, like, I better start living. So it just, I don't know. For me, I feel like you can apply it to life. There are just a lot of times in life where we play it safe, whether it be with work, friendships, relationships, and we put the idol back. However, we only got one life to live. So like, you better get the living. So I don't know. I just really got empowerment from Carla.
And I actually like her. I like that metaphor, Brice, and I like Carla's. I think her decision making process. Like I think for me, if I found a Beware advantage on 43, having seen 41 and 42 with all the weird, the phrases and like losing your vote for what could be several tribal councils, I think I would be wary of the advantage. Like, and but I think you sit down and you think about it, and you're like, this I think you would regret not going for that. And like if someone else finds it and then they have the idol and they can use it, like you would just I think it is also from a really meta perspective, as a Survivor fan myself, I think I'd be like, if I pick this up, I get more screen time. So I think I'd have to grab that. And honestly, I'm sure at this time on the island, you're starting to get a little bored, like your day to day. You get the Beware advantage, at least it's going to spice up your life a little bit. Like now you got to go spend the day asking people for beads and making trades. And like you have this new objective that could really help you out in the game. And I think, like I said, I love how Survivor made it so that now the Beware advantage puts the power to the player rather than having to wait on all the other tribes. And Carla's a good player. And so we see she's quickly able to get all the beads from everybody via, bartering, via using her wife's fake birthday. What did you guys think about her process getting these beads?
I thought it was a little aggressive at one point. Not aggressive like they call Wendell is aggressive.
But like forward, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a little forward at some parts. How about when Ryan's like, I mean, I'll give you my sock.
I'll give you my socks.
Yeah,
I mean,
trade socks. I like my beads.
What they smell like? I think I think again, we see that Carla has really good problem solving skills, and we see her in the confessional saying that, and she's like, what's the urgency? Why the urgency now? And I think her way of bartering and her being like bartering.
Huh?
Bartering.
Yeah. Jack, don't correct him so fast.
I appreciate you, baby boy.
I can't even write down bartering.
Bartering. I think her method of it being like something on the island for us to commemorate. I'm like, oh, Carla is good. But I also was cracking up when Gio was like, no, I wanted to keep this. Like,
because these are things that people like with the tree mail beads. It's always like a few beads on there, a little necklace kind of thing. People want that. People want these keepsakes from this incredible experience.
Yeah. But her way of maneuvering it, I thought was just excellent. And again, now she got an idol, a full bracelet.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. Can we have a commercial for the Real Love Boat? Do you guys think did you guys see any of those commercials? Do you want to watch it? Does it look like something fun? Did you see all those Big Brother people on the boat over the last week?
I did.
I saw James and Will.
They were on a boat.
Kylan
was there. I don't know who else I saw.
That was my squad this summer.
I know
Gavin and Claire.
Hey, come on, Amazing Race. I know is it Gavin Winston?
Gavin Whitson. Is he on the boat?
He's excited. He was tweeting up a storm about the love poll.
Okay, Gavin. Shout out to Gavin. Yeah, so that was one commercial I saw, but then
okay, Jack, I believe is moderating. So
there was a water challenge coming up.
The moderator should
I tried to slip in there.
Commercials. We need the commercials. Okay, you got somehow. No. I'm thinking, did you guys end up watching the Real Love Boat though?
I happen to be in Houston, Texas.
H-Town.
Oh, right. I thought it's funny how Jeff, I remember seeing his ad for it. He's like, Reality Thursdays are back. And he's just like, you can tell, he's like, it's getting good. But then, yeah, we come back and
that's all you got?
Yeah. Well, this was like last week when they were promoting like their Thursday shows. What was it called? It was like Big Premiere Thursday.
Yeah, Ghosts.
And I I was like, that's not a very creative name. Like,
Yeah, they need some help, Jack.
yeah, they need some help.
Also, when we were on the Vesi,
Vesi, yeah.
when they put the promo photos up, and then the survivors always change their photos. And I know, like, we saw a lot of the photos of them at the challenge, and I'm looking at my twin because I always like to check for Dwight, and I'm like, who locked up Dwight's hair? Like, I'm like, how is his hair? Like, so I just also loved when they were on.
That was before the challenge?
Was it? It was before, because he came to the challenge. He came to the challenge with his hair locked up.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Whoa.
It looked really good.
Yes, and we saw NECA out there twisting his hair. I was like, okay, NECA, like, this is what I normally do with my hair. And she was like, it's going to take a long time. But Dwight was like, we don't got nothing but time. Lock it up. But no, Dwight's hair looked really good. I just wanted to point that out because I'd be noticing stuff like that.
I noticed it too. Like, I was surprised. I was like, wow, like, his hair looks really good. And then he
Right.
had like his scruff coming in. I'm like, all right, Dwight.
I said, okay, twin.
You gonna get him out there, Dwight. Okay.
We see why you married out there with your hair all curly and nice like that.
He got chosen up.
He's trying to make sure Jesse keeps him around.
Yes, the divorce papers are pending.
He
Okay.
gotta change his look a little bit.
Yeah.
How you like this?
We gotta go to Ellie for some couples therapy. But then yeah, we go into the challenge. They gotta leap from these platforms and collect these underwater keys to unlock puzzle pieces for this turtle puzzle. Challenge we've seen before, but it was a fun one. It was also really fun seeing Noelle absolutely crush the challenge with her prosthetic leg off, just ripping through the water, leaping through the air. Yeah, what'd you guys think of this? Noelle's performance? What did you guys think of the challenge as a whole?
I think it was a very powerful moment when they were first of all, when we see this challenge, and I'm sure a lot of people at home are thinking like, oh, Noelle will do the puzzle, or I'm sure it could have been very easy for production to probably say like, hey, you're going to do this challenge because sometimes if people are sick, sometimes if people are thinking like, production will say that like you can't do this challenge, you will like have to sit out, or you have to like do certain parts of this, like that, little nugget for you. Yes. So I just thought it was just like such a powerful moment when she took that leg off, and Cody, everybody's like, what should we do? She was just like, I just need to just lean on you right now. And then baby, Noelle took off. She was killing it. And I have just so much respect for her. However, there was somebody else that I just want to highlight during this challenge that Jeff kind of pissed me off a little bit. I felt like when Cody was diving, he was like, awesome dive by Cody. When Gabler, oh, that's a good looking dive by Gabler. Like, I felt like he was shouting out a lot of the men's dive. But baby, if y'all get a chance to go back, watch Carla. Watch.
Oh yeah, I just
Carla.
Yeah.
When her formation on point, her diving down, I just was like, shout out to Carla, because I feel like people don't give. Sometimes, everybody shapes different sizes, and people don't like that. But Carla was doing her thing in that water, and I was just like, you better go ahead, sis.
Yep. You're absolutely right about that, Brice. Good observation. Way to shout out our girl Carla.
Thanks.
I mean, it also says we on this. Okay, Ryan dive wasn't that bad either. Okay, Ryan dive wasn't that bad either. Ryan said, "What's air?" Ryan just
went
dove
straight
in,
down.
and then and also, did y'all see? This is the first time, because y'all not be paying attention. I feel like Survivor, other water challenges like this, I feel like there has always been an issue with people not being able to like get the lock off. There's always like some issues, and I'll be listening to like, Rob has podcasts, we do the extra interviews, and some people be like, the lock just wouldn't come off. Like, I loved how like you had to dive down and like push it real good. Push it real good. But she real good.
I know that one.
Oh,
Oh,
who
Jack.
sings it though? Who sings it though, Jack?
Um,
I'll give you a hint.
I'll take a hint.
It's a condiment.
Condiments.
Condiments.
If you are having some scrambled eggs, you might want to add some.
2 things.
Hot sauce?
Oh, you know what, Jack?
Get out of here, man.
Salt
What else
and
you put on your?
pepper. Salt and pepper.
Oh, that's not a condiment.
Yeah, how?
That's
I mean,
a
I guess a
spice.
seasoning.
True, you're right, Jack. You're right, brother. You're right.
That's
you're
my
right.
fault though. But
Actually, listeners, let us know if we can include them as condiments.
I think they are when they say put the little condiments out, little salt, pepper, ketchup.
Yeah.
But
fair
okay.
enough. Fair enough. I was thinking.
I'm
you know,
sorry.
sauces,
I'm sorry, Jack. Sorry,
some
Jack.
sauces. But
What are you cleaning, Wendell?
Because here's the thing.
We're in the middle of podcasting.
My phone screen was broken. It has
Yeah.
this crack.
Should we call Gabler?
no, he got the valves,
Oh,
not the screens.
So I had to
okay, so we'll wait. Go ahead, clean it.
I'm
was
gonna
both
put it
Okay,
down. I'm
Jack,
just gonna
you-
put
Do you
it
Jack-
think
down.
where does
Jack-
Gabler live? Like rural, like
I think he lives in
Wyoming?
Boise, near Boise, Idaho.
do you think there's like a local commercial in Boise that's like, come on down to Gabler's Valves. We got all your valve needs. Maybe not though. I don't know.
Why did I think he was talking about like heart valves and stuff?
That-
I
Like-
think that's what he
that is,
said.
that is.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
guys.
But anyways, so we see the Vesi tribe reach the puzzle first, and NECA and Jesse are on the puzzle. And they, like I said, they're there first. They have the lead, but they're struggling. And then we see Baka and Coco reach the puzzle not too far after this giant turtle puzzle. And ultimately, Vesi, NECA continues to struggle on the puzzles. We saw last episode, she also struggled. Jesse's no help in this one. And ultimately, Vesi blows their lead to Baka, and then Coco also wins. And they win a, what is it? They get a toolkit and some fruit.
Yeah.
If we could just take it back to the challenge real quick, little James Jones. We see that James must have learned from the first challenge how to keep your
his
cargo
pants
pants up.
He's 6 days in. I mean, he had to learn something.
He had to figure it out. So just with the spotlight that James Jones for keeping those cargo shorts that really look like capris because they down to your ankles. But I digress.
Do you think
he
he
got
tied
a
his,
belt?
or tied his drawstring or
He
something?
probably tried the drawstring or did the like fold them over trick. Now, this is what I will. Okay, go ahead, Jack. I'll let you go.
No,
No, I
that's
just
all
was.
I had.
I was confused as to like y'all know I've been rooting for NECA and like I really like NECA, but I just was so confused as to like why she was on the puzzle again. Because my take is if I f up the puzzle the first time, I'm staying away from the puzzle until I have to do the puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
when
think-
I saw NECA doing the puzzle, I was like, oh, NECA.
My guess is she felt like she was physically the weakest tribe member and wanted to compensate for that by doing the puzzle. But I agree with you. I don't like, it's clearly not her strong suit. I think it would have been best if she just sort of minimized her role
In the puzzle.
with
Do we know
a
how strong of a
challenge.
Do we know how strong of a swimmer she is?
I mean, we don't. So, I mean, again, swimming could have been an issue for her. But again, for me, I'm going to have to do what I had to. Like, I would stay away from the puzzle. So just seeing that, I was just like,
I agree. That's where you can really make your break in the pre-merge. Like you could be in a good spot, but if you blow the puzzle, especially multiple
Right.
times, people are
Because-
gonna be
I feel like if you're not a strong swimmer and you take a long time swimming, and y'all get to the puzzle, y'all could kill it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's more like you're the anchor. You're supposed to bring it home. So I just
yeah.
But then there was also Jesse, and we
But
know him to be very smart. So in a perfect world, she does kind of take a back seat in that puzzle.
And when I mean backseat, I mean get out of the car.
Just swim anyways. Just go for a swim. I'm curious to hear. For me, I feel like especially in the pre-merge with puzzles, I think I'm decent at puzzles, but I don't think you ever want to be the one that's like, yo, I got this. Like I'm doing, because that's, I feel like, where you get in trouble. You know, for me, I would do the puzzle, but only if everyone was like, yo, I cannot do this. Because then if you do it and you don't do a good job, it's like, well, everyone else said that they were horrible, so I might have been our best option. But if you're like, yo, I got to do the puzzle, and you messed it up, I think that's a lot of a different story. But I'm curious, on y'all's seasons, when there were puzzles pre-merge, how did you sort of, what was your role in the puzzle? Like, did you stay away from them? Were you volunteering?
I'll let Brice go first.
You were at a few challenges, Brice.
I've had a few challenges under my belt, so don't do that. I did not step up for the puzzles. I always wanted to be the workhorse. And listen, on my first challenge, y'all see me killing it. Okay, on the second challenge, I did sit out because I shouldn't have, but they were like my second challenge, I did sit out because we had to swim. And mind you, I can swim. I'm a good swimmer. However, when we did our little huddle, everyone was like, oh, I'm a lifeguard. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. And I was like, oh, well, I don't really have but I didn't know that they all were lying. Like, so they psyched me all out.
So, who were the puzzle solvers on was it like LJ and Alexis?
So LJ and Alexis did our first puzzle. Then on that second one, it was, I don't remember who did the second puzzle.
I'll just say I couldn't imagine Morgan and Jeremiah.
Oh,
I think
no, it wasn't
working on the puzzle today.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Damn.
No shade.
But listen, we're not going to insult anybody's intelligence here. Jeremiah is a very strong man.
Well, I'm not saying they aren't smart, but I am saying puzzles just aren't some people's forte. Yeah. But Wendell, what about you?
Our first challenge was one of those big tribe ones where you're doing a lot of stuff and it ends in a big block puzzle with many like almost Tetris looking pieces. And I feel confident at puzzles. Dom felt confident at puzzles. Kellen felt confident at puzzles. I think Bradley might have also. There were quite a few of us, and I think, I don't know how it was me, Dom, and Kellen, I believe, that did the puzzle, but I feel like we were all confident. I don't know. We were just feeling good as a tribe.
That's a strong puzzle solving group right there.
Right. We had a good group, so it worked out. And then I think we swapped at one point, and me and Laurel were on the puzzle. And we were to build this big structure that I don't think we knew what we were building. I think it turned into be like a tiki head or something like that. And we went against Bradley and Kellen.
Oh.
Well, that was after the swap?
Yeah. And at that particular puzzle, I think they grasped what they were building a lot faster than us, and they just dusted us. Like
there's a lot of good puzzle solvers on your season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So I think I wanted to step up, being someone that puts things together a lot. Mm-hmm. But I think your strategy is a really good strategy in waiting and listening and seeing. And if people are like, no, then saying, I guess I'll, maybe I could, as opposed to saying, yo, I'm legit. Puzzles are my thing. Let's go.
I can remember a time in South Africa, Jack, when we made the merge and Wendell had gotten eliminated, and it was like one of the final challenges, and it was a slide puzzle. And Jack, you were like, I think
Wendell was still there for that.
Sorry, Brice.
I was like final 14. Well, that's the one puzzle I know I can always kill.
And Jack was like, I can do it. And when Jack said he could do it, I think Baby Boy moved the puzzle pieces 4 times.
What can I say? Wow. What can I say? Brice, you're making me seem like a threat if I ever get on Survivor. So please stop. No, that's like the one puzzle I really know how to do. But other than that, I wouldn't be stepping up for puzzles.
I don't believe
honestly, even now that I know how to kill a slide puzzle, I still don't think I would want to go out there and be like, yo, I gotta do this. Like, I think I would want it to ultimately be me, because pre-merge I would want to win the challenge. Like, if I knew I could do it, whatever. But I still want to be like, hey guys, like I know how to do slide puzzle in 30 seconds. Like that's just not the image you want to create for yourself. Especially me, I'm just
Until
like a
it's
bigger guy.
individual
Like I don't.
immunity challenge.
Yeah, it's like I'm a bigger guy. Like I don't want to be seen as like athletic and puzzle solver. Not that I'm that athletic, but you know,
Yeah.
you know me on the challenges. I'll be. I gained a lot of weight in South Africa, but yeah. So the challenge, Vesi blows the lead, back-to-back tribal councils for them. But before we get back to camp, Baka is informed that they're going to be picking someone from each tribe for a journey, and they pick Noel from the Vesi tribe. They pick James from Coco, and then they send Owen from their own squad. And the journey is basically the same thing as the last episode. They do this little hike, and then they reach the where they can either risk their vote for an advantage or they can keep their vote. And I think Noelle really played this. She was obviously, I guess, a little desperate in a way, but it was very reasonable. And I think she utilized that to secure herself the advantage by saying, "Hey guys, like I'm in trouble here. I have tribal tonight. If you guys could let me have this one, I will, like, I owe you. I will work with you at the merge, etc., etc." And I think for James and Owen, they made the right decision there too, because she says she's going for it. So now, if you risk it, you're at best you're 50-50. B, you don't have tribal tonight. You have a little more time to like figure things out. And then also, she clearly needs it. She's at the bottom of the tribe, and not only is she offering you some protection down the line, but also, if I'm on Baka and I hear, okay, this is the person that's on the bottom of the Vesi tribe, that's a person I want to keep in to maintain those fractures so that eventually, when we all link up, whether it's a swap or a merge, you want the other tribes to be fractured and split up. But what did you guys make of this whole summit?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I like how Noel played it. I think that James and Owen, again, like you said, some people are comfortable where they're at. And what's the point of it? I don't know why, though. And Noel took a big risk by explaining everything how she did, because I kept thinking, like, if she got with the wrong people with this, like it wouldn't work out. Because I don't know why I kept figuring, what if James was Rox Roy? Like,
You
Rock.
love rocks. Right?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm really on the bottom tribe. Would you play it safe, Rocks? I don't know. It's not up to me to decide. The sun is the sun and the moon is the moon. Today's today, tomorrow. But
may
like,
or may not.
You may.
he ends up risking his vote and winning it, and she's like, "Dude, what?" He's like, "You should have said something."
However, I don't know why, like, when Noelle first was like, when they were walking up and she was like, if you guys like trust me and we get to the end, I'm saying final 3. And I'm like, girl, you're doing too much. However, after she says it, they give it to her or like whatever, I'm like, could this be these 3, when you look at their positions on the tribe, Noelle, they want to get rid of her. Like, they don't want to get rid of the white. They want to get rid of her. We talked about Owen. Owen is kind of like the curmudgeon. That is an actual, I meant to mess that up. I could have said curmudgeon, but he's the curmudgeon.
He's the commercial.
Oh, like he's
the curmudgeon of his crew. He could go with Sammy, Gabe, or he could go with Ellie and whatever. And then we have somebody like James.
Whatever. Some respect on Janine.
Janine, I'm sorry, boom.
Or whatever. He could do whatever.
Then we have James, the person that, like, people are like, we just pulled James in. Like,
yeah,
their 3 perspectives, when you look at it like that, are really interesting. And when I was on a plane back to Houston, a little hungover, like, but watching this, I was like, wow. we might got something here,
or some amount of those people, like
right? Somebody of something of
yeah, that's interesting.
No, that's
but would you, from a game perspective, would you want to sit next to at the end someone that has overcome as much as a Noel.
Well, no, but also no, I wouldn't. However, I used to feel that way, right?
Right.
But I feel like it makes me think of like a Jonathan. When I used to be like, "Oh no, we got to get Jonathan out." Like, like I feel like yeah, I would not want to sit next to Noelle. However, I don't know if I would want like I would keep her in as long as I possibly could.
If you're one of those three, one of those two.
I mean, yeah, like
Or
I
just
think
period. You would just
just
keep
period.
okay.
And now imagine now y'all probably gonna say this don't make sense. But I dare I say the winner of this season
Uh,
will be
one of these three.
no. Either one of these. I mean, no. Either one of these three, or a person like I don't want to say two separations away because then that'd just be everybody. But it will be okay. Let me rephrase it.
Someone attached to one of these people.
Someone attached to one of these people.
Ah.
Either it's
Like a
James,
Sammy
Noel,
or Dwight or
Owen.
Carla.
Right. Someone attached to one of the three, either those three or someone attached to that triangle is going to win this season.
What if we get a Dwight win? That
Then
would be
basically,
incredible.
I practically won.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, if Dwight won, first of all, listen, somebody connected to that triangle. Here's my prediction. Put that in your Survivor fantasy, Jack. Your poker game, Survivor. Somebody write that down.
I'll let my poker friends know.
Thank you.
So someone attached to this trio is gonna win, and it doesn't matter that James is attached to 5 people.
Listen, see, here you go.
We'll call your shot. So would you say the people attached would be a Dwight, a Carla, or a Sammy?
I'm gonna leave it vague. I'm gonna leave it vague.
Well, then
okay.
So basically, in
whoever
other words,
wins, you're like, yo, they were on the tribe with
there are about 2 people that aren't connected to these people.
Let me be great.
Brice is like, and hot take, it's not going to be Justine, and it's not going to be Mariah. Mark my words. No, it's definitely an interesting 3, and they're 3 of my favorites so far this season. But yeah, so we see Noelle gets this steal a vote, and wisely hides it in her prosthetic foot, which nobody's going to check that.
Nobody going to check that. And here's another thing, that I love about Noelle is the fact that, like, she's going through what she's going through with her leg. And, like, how I know that I'm going to love a Noelle is that, like, I laugh through my pain. Sometimes and I love the fact that she's like, I'm going to still be here. I'm still going to give you leg jokes. Like, I just like the fact that she can
embrace
it, like, adding laughter to it. Like, I love it. And if you see her on her Instagram, like her Instagram is pretty like she makes some funny jokes about like herself. And I love somebody that could do that, because if you know me, I will run a joke till the end.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, it's giving her a leg up on the competition.
I'm not even giving that a bell. No, you can't make that joke.
I mean, it's all a good fun.
It's with love. Listen.
I am. Noelle can make those jokes, and I think that she's a better person for being able to do that. Like, it could be the other way, and this can cause you to be depressed and everything.
Right.
She's become empowered and became
you turn your defeats into victories.
Right.
U.S. world record, 6 in the world at the, I think she said the 100 or something.
It's crazy.
Regardless, unbelievable.
Right. And potentially the winner or connected to the winner. Right?
That might be the biggest on her resume. It's like Paralympian connected to the winner.
Connected to the winner of Survivor 43.
Says Brice.
But yeah, so now she's back with her steal a vote, which at this stage in the game, such a good, maybe better than an idol, because you're on a tribe of 5, you're on the bottom with 1 ally. Suddenly you have the majority. You don't even have to worry about, who do I play the idol on? It's, if she wants, she could steal a vote. She and Dwight send home whoever they want. But we see, it seems like this tribal is fairly cut and dry in the sense that unfortunately, everyone agrees NECA is weaker in the challenges. For Jesse, he says it feels like he's upset. It feels like he's voting out his mom. Shout out to Sierra, but I don't. Yeah, it felt cut and dry, but I have thoughts on it. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts first on kind of if you were on this tribe, how would you navigate this? And like, do you think people made the right plays here?
Yeah.
I think another reason why I like Noelle and I feel like she either gonna be the winner or connected to the winner or know the winner is because when she got back to that island, she was like, just straight lied. Like, like it, like just like it wasn't even like she just was like,
She
listen,
said, look, I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got it. Check me. Listen, check me. I ain't got it. I played it safe. Tonight's a night. Tonight, I ain't trying to go. Listen, I want to keep my vote. And so to your point, Jack, though, like you felt like it was cut and dry. The one part that two things that made me extremely sad, but also I had my side eye like, girl. Now I say this respectfully. So the one part was the sad of NECA getting upset, like, of like, she's saying to us, like, and again, I love my NECA. So listen, if NECA ever hear this, just please receive this with love.
Uh-oh. The
But
shade is about to
NECA,
come.
like, in her confessional, NECA, like, this was such a hard vote. I don't want to see Noelle go home because she's such an inspiration to me. And I am like, girl,
You got bigger problems to worry
you got
about.
bigger problems than Noelle, sister.
Yeah.
Like, so again, and I think that for me, that was what y'all call it when they try to throw you off with something. But
the red herring?
The red herrings. I honestly think that was the red herring because NECA was like, and we know Cody ride for NECA. He ride or die. He gonna ride for NECA. And so Cody was like, so the fact that them showing us NECA so emotional and not just emotional just because she's like, it's such a hard vote. Well, and again, I wanted to ask NECA, well, why is it a hard vote? Who else is on the chopping block, sis? Like, I don't know. Like, that for me was just like a little weird. But that's all I had to say. And then also, okay, my last question or two questions. With the steal a vote, do they tell us how long we can, like, is that just to the end of the game?
I think that's good until final 5, final 6.
Okay. So if I were to play, I couldn't play that final 3. Then my next question is, with the steal a vote, because we've seen a steal a vote in the past, do you just present it up there? Like when you're writing the thing down and you just write the 2 votes down there?
No, I think when Jeff says like, hey, it's time to vote, I think you say, hey, Jeff, I want to use my.
And so then you give them the steal a vote, then you go back up there.
You give it to them, and you're stealing, you point out who you stealing. Like,
oh, wait, you got to point out whose vote you stealing?
Yeah,
point them up.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait, why when Jeff is saying that, why are they making the big point to like, look at Noelle? I thought that you would just present it to like the coffin and then you just put in 2 votes.
Coffin?
I mean the urn.
Present it to the coffin. R.I.P. to your vote.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna need this vote. You ain't gonna need it anyway.
The coffin. Wendell, what do you think about this whole tribal in this vote out?
I thought, like you said, I thought it was pretty cut and dry. I did. I thought they knew what was happening, and I think that the show tried to do what they do to make it seem like it was between NECA and Noelle, but I feel like they were all on the same page. It sounds like you have a hot take that you have been thinking about.
I do. It was cut and dry in how it played out, but I think my hot take is that I think a lot of people played this very wrong.
Okay.
And it made sense. It worked out fine because of, because of how it played out. But I think both sides had an opportunity to make a better move, and neither of them took it.
You think Cody, they should took a shot at Cody?
I think if I'm Jesse and Cody, I don't care that NECA's weak in challenges. Like,
she's loyal as hell to you.
Yeah, she's loyal as hell. If I vote out Noelle, then Dwight and NECA aren't gonna go to Rocks to vote out me and Jesse if I'm Cody. And now I vote out NECA, and now it's a 2-2 split between fairly obvious alliances. And if you go to tribal again, then like now it's a tie. And like now I just keep NECA. Like my whole thing is I don't care how much I lose pre-merge as long as I know that I'm going to be one of the last 2 people in my tribe. Like, for example, in South Africa, Brice, when we were on the same tribe, we lost at the beginning more than anybody. But you and I felt like had control of that tribe where it didn't really matter because every time we went, you and I made the call and it worked, and we would have been the last 2 standing on that tribe. And so it's like I don't really care how much I lose if I know I'm going to be sticking around. And if I have NECA and say we swap, NECA's still loyal. So I'm like, if I'm Cody and Jesse, why am I voting out a number to keep someone who's going to go against me at the next tribal council? And then,
And go
yeah,
ahead.
no,
There's,
add to
I was
that
just
one.
saying, yeah, there's so much to it, Jack, because you say they had someone loyal that they got rid of. Then, dang, what was I gonna say?
Mm.
No, I feel like you said, there were so many like factions that could have played it differently. For
Yeah,
example, you got Noel who went up there on the walk with James and Owen and said, "All right, now I can use this to make a big play against someone."
yeah.
And they're gonna go back and see NECA gone. It's like, wait, was she a ring? Like, was that a big play?
And that's the other part of my point is that if I'm if I'm Noel and I'm thinking about what's best for Jesse and Cody, like I just said, I think they would want me out as Noel. And if there's even a slight chance that they do that, why not just use my steal a vote right now with Dwight and take out like Jesse or Cody, or even still take out NECA? But then at least the next tribal council, you have, you and Dwight, and you're there and you're safe. Like if I'm I'm not taking any chances right now because also historically we see the steal a vote is
Doesn't
pretty hard to use. So when you have a clear instance like you do right now, where you can make sure that you're safe, I don't like it worked out because Noel obviously didn't go home. But I think the smart move for the majority of this tribe was to take out Noel. And so as a counterplay to that, Noel should have just used her steal a vote. Obviously now she's in a great position because next tribe she can use it with Dwight and break any possible tie. But I think there was a good chance that she goes home this episode and then that doesn't even matter.
Here's my next question. Do you feel like my twin is being too stubborn, or is he making a good choice? Because here we have Jesse saying that like Dwight is not happy with him because like whatever, and Cody clearly says multiple times like I want Dwight with me, but if he chooses to continue to go the other way, I'm gonna have to do what I need to do. Or is Dwight smart in knowing that I'm not really your number one? You and Cody are close, and I'm staying with Noel. Or should Dwight have been like, I'm not even taking no chances? Noel's my girl right now. However, if we get to the end, I can't sit next to her. Why not get rid of her now?
I think that Dwight is doing a really solid job where I think it could be of playing the middle, but where I think it could obviously be better is to erase that sort of doubt from Jesse and Cody's minds. But especially now that Noel has the steal a vote, it's so good for Dwight to be with Noel because then they can control whatever happens at the next tribal. Or if he wants to, he could still swing over back with Jesse and Cody. Um, but like I said, he's doing a good job in the sense that he is not like if consider that he's not with Cody and Jesse, he's still not their target. Like Noel would be their target if they go for that, faction.
Right.
But I wish it could be better in the sense that Cody and Jesse just think he's all the way in with them and he still has this relationship with Noel and then he can make any choice he wants. But
Is there a world where next
No.
is there a world where next week, if the red tribe Vesi goes to tribal and you have Noel and Dwight, you have Jesse and Cody. Is there a world where Noel, wanting to preserve her steal a vote again, turns her back on Dwight?
I don't think so.
No?
I mean,
They would go for her before they go for Dwight. because they are trying
Yeah.
to stay
But
whatever.
in that particular instance, I almost feel like Dwight might be the target.
Well, that's what Wendell's saying. He's
Well,
saying
I
So
when
they would
Noel switched
target
up
him
on.
over her.
well, I'm saying
Oh,
like I'm saying like if it gets to that point, I feel like they're gonna want to target him. But I feel
Why?
like because I feel like even if Dwight were to come to them and say like, "Hey, I'm like now Dwight can't swing that way because
Dwight has
they
information.
what information does he
they
have?
all
Well,
voted together this
I
tribal.
mean, yeah, because
That was an
Dwight
easy
wanted that,
vote
but I'm
anyway.
just saying that like I feel like all of a sudden, I feel like Cody is too smart of a player that if that is the tribal, and now all of a sudden
Is
Dwight is
he?
like, let's get rid of Noel. They like you don't think that they would be suspicious of that?
No, I think that you have this couple that is Cody and Jesse. And then you have this newly formed alliance that is Dwight and Noel. And
Yeah.
I could see a world where Dwight and Noel are both fighting to be with the other two to get out that person. So all I'm trying to say is if Dwight and Noel aren't super locked in, and now Dwight has this information about Noel steal a vote, I'm just saying that they both have angles,
No,
and Dwight might even because Dwight could say, "Yo, she's hiding a steal vote from
But he ain't
y'all.
gonna do that.
Let's the three of us vote her out," or she could. I don't know because she was just on the bottom with NECA just now. So if they go to tribal again, who's going? You're saying Dwight. You're saying Noel.
I'm saying Cody.
Well, yeah. To your first part of that, I think that there is a world where that happens. Granted, Noel could still steal someone's vote and make it a tie. I don't know if that would go through on the revote, but that would be interesting to find out like the logistics of that. Because in a sense, if she uses it, she's cannot go home. But I think what happens most likely is that she and Dwight stick together. She uses her steal a vote, and I think they vote out
Cody or Jesse.
Cody probably.
I think Cody. No,
Dwight has a thing against Cody.
oh
And he
yeah,
has
Cody. Yeah,
for
I was,
weeks.
I was,
And Dwight,
yeah.
I think still obviously his relationship with Jesse's
He's
a
still
little
married.
rocky, but yeah, they're
They're working through their differences.
They're working through their differences. There's a little separation right now. They're working through it.
Exactly. So I think if I had to bet, I think that's what would happen. But I don't think it's impossible that, like you said, Noel is like, hey, maybe Dwight's the weakest at this point on the tribe. Maybe let me keep my steal a vote. But that's where I think. I mean, I think that's certainly possible. But I will say, like I said, the steal a vote, extra vote are sort of notoriously like
Hard
easy to
play.
mess up. And so if you have a clear cut instance that's going to progress your game, I think it's like just use it. And especially if other people know about it, just use it, get it out and just make the right move. And because once you hit the merge, your steal a vote is A, less powerful because of all the numbers, and B, that information is going to spread most likely. And that just puts a target on your back.
Right. Ultimately, it was really sad to see our queen NECA go. I hate the fact that out of the first 3 people to go home, 2 of them happen to be Black women. I just hate to see my sisters go, but I mean, clearly we've seen in the game, this is how it happens, and this is the things that have caused it. So, regarding gameplay and individual tribes, but again, just still hate to see my girl and all 3 women.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
So it is crazy. Are we going to get a male winner this season?
For the first time in 2 seasons. Well, for the first time, the last, I'm trying to say the last 2 have been women winners.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know who we'll get, but what I do know for sure is that the winner of season 30, the winner of season 43
will be attached.
Will be attached.
Will be a cast member on season 43.
Okay. Yes. Well,
should we give a updated winner pick?
Oh,
because I did say by episode 3.
Because we always change it every episode.
I mean, I know.
I got.
Well,
let's
okay,
see.
I do. I
Let's
can
see.
say firmly my updated winner pick.
Hold on, let me get mine too. Hold on. All right.
My dated, well, if you wasn't cleaning your phone and doodling and actually being present. So actually, Jack, you got time to moderate next week? Because
Don't do that.
it's giving spring break for Wendell. My updated winner pick is Carla.
Solid.
Jack.
I'm still thinking. I don't think it's gonna be a Vesi player right now. And so I would have to lean.
Is Wendell doing it numbers?
I'm looking at the tribes and I'm really trying to think.
I would have to lean. I guess if I had to bet, I'd probably say Carla, but I think my other pick would be maybe Owen.
Not Owen from the triangle?
Yeah. But he's in the triangle, so does that even count? I don't know.
That does. It's the triangle or somebody connected.
Yeah. But I'm so back and forth on Owen, but I just like him as a guy. So and he seems smart. He seems like he's in a solid position. Like I don't think there's anything exactly. I don't think there's any blatant knocks against him other than he almost went home the first tribal, but I really don't think he ever actually was like gonna be the guy. So
right. Okay. Wendell is done calculating his water bill this month.
You done?
Who I'm finished.
Okay.
Who do you have?
I have 6 players.
No,
I think
y'all going to talk about my triangle?
It's either Jesse, Dwight, Ellie, Janine, Lindsay, or Carla.
You gotta cut it down to 2.
Okay.
2? Okay.
Jack,
all right.
And it ain't Ellie. So
so that's what I was gonna ask you guys. After what we saw, it can't be Ellie. She can't pull her way back.
This is the making of that is the definition of the making of a winner's edit.
No, it's not. If we're talking about the edit, you don't make your winner look condescending and
pat
ignorant.
people on the head.
Ignorant in the sense that she's not aware of the situation with Gabler, not like ignorant in like life. But
in a dream universe, think of anyway.
Okay, so I'm that's why I'm legitimately asking you guys. So we're taking Ellie off that.
Now, I keep her on.
Okay,
I mean, look, my 2 cents. I had the instinct last episode where I said this is gonna get her in trouble. This next episode, we see her looking foolish. Like,
didn't I say though?
I think she's extremely smart. Like going into the season, I think she has the package on paper to be a winner.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't like where she's at. And like I said, this is sort of like what I said with Shannon 41, where she was playing really strong pre-merge, but I said she has, too much control that it's going to come back to bite her.
And David versus Goliath, how far did Angelina get?
All the way to the end.
Okay.
But she was never going to win.
But all that I am saying
she was a goat.
All that I am saying is, have you never seen a movie where the character get in trouble?
But Angelina was never going to win.
Okay, but listen, Jack. All I'm saying is I'm not counting Ellie out.
Okay, you're entitled to think that. I'm just saying my 2 cents is I'm not saying she can't win. I'm saying if I'm making a winner pick, Ellie is not in my top 3. She's not my triangle.
All right, well, she was one of mine. Is there a world where Janine can win?
Yes, we've seen players like Erica. So yes.
Yeah, I do get a lot of Erica energy.
And Janine, smart. And again, at this point, she's not making the shots. She's like going along with the shot make. So I feel like yes, there is a world.
But at the same time, she's not at the top of my list. Partly just we haven't seen a lot of her.
Right, but and we know with the editors now that could be a good thing.
True, but
we had. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's I was gonna say I think she could win, but she's not at the top of my list.
All right, we had a lot of what I thought was good Jesse content, and I'm like, wow, the man's smart. He's doing that. This last episode, did it take a little turn where it was like? I feel like there was a moment when I was watching, I was just like, oh, Jesse.
Well, for me, it was you're so loyal to Dwight and you want to work with Dwight and you're calling Dwight your island wife. And, you say you don't have much allegiance to Cody. He's doing this and that. And then all of a sudden you get into one disagreement with the person that you're playing with and you jump in ships and you basically saying you can come with me or you can be a part of the problem. So again, that kind of just make me look like what you're doing, baby boy, or that could be good gameplay. You need to know when to which side to sway to.
And I thought it was interesting where, we see the confessional of this episode where he's like, ultimately it was my vote, so I'm going to do what I want with, like, basically saying that. Flashback to last episode, I remember him walking with Dwight, and I think Dwight said, like, at the end of the day, it's your vote, so do. And Jesse was
Mm,
like, no, it's our vote, like it's as
Right.
much your vote
mm.
as. So obviously that's gameplay, but to give Dwight that impression, and then I think to come in a confessional, be like, oh, but it was my, like, but you just told Dwight, like,
So what do you think about that?
I mean, I think Jesse could definitely win. If I had to
Oh,
pick
for
someone from
sure.
Vesi, I think he could win. But I do think he's in. I think he's a great player, but I do think he's sort of in a. I think because going to tribal this early, he's already sort of in a frenzy, like a sort of a chaotic state. A little Tony-esque, to be honest with you. But so I do think, like, I don't, and I think he's also getting, in a way, like a mixed edit. If we want to talk about, like, we're seeing a lot of good, but we're also seeing some of his drawbacks where I really like Jesse would probably be my third pick behind Owen and Carla, but it's just, yeah, what we're getting from him is really interesting so far. So I don't know how I can like call, like, what to make of it yet.
I agree. Yeah. Well, but I also like that we're getting various sides of him.
Right.
100%.
And we got. I remember at one point he had a walk with Dwight, and Dwight was saying like Cody was on Dwight's list to get out or something for whatever reason, and he just took that information, and now he has that information, and he's also his closest ally is Cody now.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where that
Interesting.
goes.
And I think Jack's question to you was your winner pick.
Like I said, my winner pick. So we already discussed Ellie, Janine, Jesse. I'd still like Dwight. I'm gonna go with Lindsay.
Okay.
Whoa.
I got Lindsay and Carla
That's-
on my list. You pick Carla, so I'll go with Lindsay.
I like it. I like it.
And I can see it. I definitely see the leader. I definitely see for my birthday, I'd like to go to thing. You know the repercussions that come with,
It's very
like, you know what I
Chrissy
mean? Like,
Hoffback, I feel like.
I was getting Chrissy.
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's tough. It's tough with Coco because we haven't seen them go to tribal yet, so we don't know how they maneuver.
How
But I
they
think
will.
Lindsay is a solid pick.
Oh, for sure. That's yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, we like Lindsay.
Okay, I'm sorry to ask one last question. If Coco goes to tribal, who do we see getting voted off first?
I hate to say this, but I feel like Wendell and I had a conversation earlier this week, and I definitely think that potentially, depending on the reason of why they're at tribal, potentially it could be Ryan or it could be Gio. Now, I don't want to see either of them, but we just know that the girls have brought in James. So that's 4.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Saying
The
that
girls-
they
the
brought in
girls
James.
and James.
Right. But again, we don't know where James is at. We haven't seen a lot of James, and we know that James is a player. So we know that, like, things are happening whether we see it or not. So
Agreed.
again, if we're just looking at it from that standpoint, then I would say that it is Ryan or Gio. However, James could have a whole alliance with Gio and Ryan and maybe Carla, and it could be Lindsay or Cassidy, even though I don't want to see Babu go home. But again, like, yeah, that would be an interesting dynamic to see that when it happens, if it happens.
Yeah.
May I ask that about the other 2 tribes?
No, you said you had one more question, Wendell. So no, you cannot.
I'm
Next
happy.
week.
My 2 cents on the Coco tribe, though. I agree. It is a good question because I'm like, how strong is this girls' alliance? Like, obviously we've seen it come together, but we haven't seen it operate per se. I just think Carla is at the core of this tribe right now. So I'm trying to think about, from Carla's standpoint, who would she want to go home? Because I think that's honestly who probably would go home. I think she has a good connection with Gio. So I think Gio would be all right. I think she seems like she has a good connection with Lindsay and Cassidy, and she has a good connection with James. So James
That's
is probably
everybody.
chilling. No, well, I was gonna say Ryan is not included in that conversation. So on
Yeah.
paper, maybe Ryan would go home, but at the same time, like, it would definitely be a major curveball if Ryan was the first person off that
Wow.
tribe. And then
Mhm.
I pivot to thinking about Ryan's game, and it seems like he's playing a pretty good game. Like, I think he's made good connections. I think the issue for me, probably for Ryan, is that just the makeup of his tribe. I don't know. Like, we see he has a really good bond with Gio, and Gio's someone who on paper, you wouldn't be like, okay, Ryan and Gio are going to connect, but he made it happen anyways. But for me, I'm like, if I'm Ryan, like, is it going to be super easy for me to connect with like a Lindsay and like a Cassidy? Like, I don't know. Like, that might just be what puts him in a bad spot, is like the people on his tribe might not be the most natural connections for him.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Jack. That was my last question.
Thank you.
Wendell, we could text about this after.
I mean, if y'all want to edit it, y'all can. But yes, but listen, we're excited to see what episode 4 brings. You know, we're excited to see who will moderate next week. But one thing's for certain, 2 things are for sure. Brice and Win Present is coming home to Philadelphia. We're going to Boston. We will be in Washington, D.C., and we were ending this amazing season in
La La Land.
L.A. So, Jack, Bell, Atkins, we appreciate you. Wendeezy, clean
2
my
bells,
phone.
Holland.
Yes, 2 bells, clean my phone case. Not at the same time. Listen, we appreciate you guys, and we will be back next week. This has been your Survivor News. Now, on the count of 3, everybody hit their bell. 1, 2. You know what? Bye, because they got all of this. They can say all of this about Survivor. They got all of these perspectives. You saying this, Ellie doing too much, but y'all can't even hit bells on the count of 3.
Hey, don't rope me into this.
I said 2 and you hit the bell.
That was Wendell.
No, I heard 3 bells.
I did not. I swear to God. I hit it after Wendell hit his, because at that point everything was messed up.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.